1 year ago, I bought my dream car, and honestly, I had no idea how much it would change my life. My name is Dylan Sangley, and this is my story of 1 year of ownership. Growing up, I've always loved cars, but the Shelby GT500 was different to me. This wasn't just another Mustang, this was the Mustang. But honestly, the biggest thing wasn't even the car itself. It was what it represented to me. I just remember going to car shows with my dad and seeing this car, right? Any color. This is the car that we would focus on. The Shelby GT500. Anytime we spotted a Shelby GT500, this is the only car that we would talk about during and after the event. It's just a true blessing to be able to say that I've owned this car, and I've owned this car for 1 full year. And like I say in all my videos, all the credit and glory goes to God, because without him, none of this would have been possible. I remember there was a day that I was locking in my first rental property. This was when I was 23 years old. I had told my parents that I locked in my first rental property. I told my parents, I'm like, you know, I don't want to just keep saying that my dream car is a Shelby GT500 and taking photos and videos with other people's cars. I told my parents that one day I will own this car. And it just so happened that 2 years later, I was able to get my own. And yeah, man, that is just an absolute blessing within itself. So I was actually very fortunate to drive a 2020 Shelby GT500 carbon fiber track pack before I got my own, because my dad's friend, Mr. K, bought a brand new one, guys, okay? This guy lives in Canada. He hit my dad up. He goes, Chris, do you think you can go pick up my Shelby GT500 for me? Why would my dad say no to that? Why would we both say no to that, right? So I remember my dad and I got ready. We went to the Ford dealership and we saw it in person, and it was an absolute beauty. It was white with no stripes, but it was the carbon fiber track pack. And my dad told me to get inside of it, and he told me, let's hear it. So of course, why would I not want to hear it? So that day was full of smiles, enjoyment, a lot of happiness. Within the drive from the dealership to his house, it was probably a 30-minute drive at max. And all I remember is the smiles on our faces. All I remember is how much I was smiling behind the camera and how much he was smiling while he was driving the car behind the wheel. So being able to remember that while now having our own, this vehicle out of all my vehicles holds a lot of sentimental value to me. And I pray that it will continue to build lots of amazing memories. And I'm able to have lots of amazing moments, not only with my current family, but with my future family when I have kids. You know, all that, man, I think that will be amazing. So let's talk about the first month of ownership. The first month of ownership was like no other. When I got my Shelby, I had to drive it from Sacramento all the way to Vegas. That was supposed to be an 8-hour drive, guys. That 8-hour drive turned into a 13+ hour drive. Why? Because it was raining. It was super dark. It took my fiance and I the Nevada route. So if you guys don't know the Nevada route, it's super dark. It's literally one-way roads. There's no one else on that road besides you and maybe one other driver every 10 minutes. And yeah, that was the first time I've ever actually driven a Shelby for that long. It was a scary drive, but it was a drive that I'll never forget, right? A lot of people are like, oh, you know, you probably had a lot of fun. Yes and no, right? I had a lot of fun when I got closer to Vegas. When I was familiar with the roads, that's when I had a little bit of fun, right? For 12 hours of the ride, 95% of the ride, not gonna lie, I was pretty frightened, because like I said, it was raining very hard. We had to wait hours at a gas station just so that we can make sure that the rain kind of stops a little bit before we head back on the road. And I just remember a sign of no gas station for 100+ miles. I remember that. When I saw that sign, I had to make sure I filled up on gas. I had to make sure everything was good before we went back on the road, before we passed that. And every few minutes you see signs of beware of whatever animal, you know, horses, buffaloes, you name it, man. There was a bunch of signs just every 5 minutes. And just seeing those signs was like, dang, it's kind of frightening. Like, what if I accidentally hit a deer? What if I accidentally hit a horse on the way back? Just things like that. that were going through my mind. And prior to me even getting my Shelby GT500, there was an incident, a personal incident that happened to my dad. I don't really want to get into the details of it because I want this to be a very positive and happy video. This incident was something that prevented him and I to pick it up together. I think that's also a reason why this car means so much to me and his car means so much to him, and both of us having our cars together is because of the fact that we're able to live moments like this together. We're able to enjoy the moments that you guys also see on all the videos. There's a lot of it that hasn't been captured, but we're able to be in the moment and really enjoy these cars together. If you guys are watching this video, a lot of you guys that are watching this know the personal story. Supporters, family members, friends, whatever it is, a lot of you guys know the personal story that I'm talking about. Like I said, I'm not gonna get into it just for personal reasons. If you guys know that story, man, you guys will understand why this car means so much to us. Obviously, a lot of my family members were able to see it. A lot of my friends were able to see it. Social media was able to see it, obviously, but this car grabs so much attention, guys. If you guys want a car that doesn't grab attention, don't get a Shelby GT500. Because everywhere you go, anywhere you go, you will have lots and lots of people staring at your car. You'll have lots and lots of people taking photos of your car. You'll have lots and lots of people coming up to you to ask if they could take photos of your car and, you know, make content with your car. And that's 100% fine with me because, as you guys know, I have a business. Every time I go to car shows, I like to market my business on the windshield. I like to put a little poster on there just promoting my business. My license plate also has my social medias on it. It's just, like I said, it's an attention grabber. Another thing too is people are always gonna wanna race you. All cars, all vehicles, man, will try to race you, especially if you have a car like this. I'm not saying that just this car alone, people are gonna wanna race you, but like if you own, especially a car like this, a Shelby GT500, people are gonna wanna race you. Slow cars, fast cars. Thank God there hasn't been that many experiences where people wanted to race. Even if they did, man, I wanna take care of my car. I wanna be able to have this car for a very, very long time. So I try to prevent it as much as I possibly can. You're gonna get a lot of looks. I do not blame the people that, just can't get their eyes off this car, man, because my dad and I are the same. We couldn't ever get our eyes off this car, and it's just so crazy to be able to say that I've owned this car for one whole year now. It's just been an amazing, amazing driver. I remember my first real pull in this car. I went pretty fast, all right? We'll just say, I went pretty fast. And the first real pull was on a freeway. This was coming back when I picked the car up. My fiance was asleep, and when I did the pull, she automatically woke up and she just started smiling because she was like, she felt it. She felt it while she was sleeping. Yeah, man, this thing picks up so quick. You can literally go from 0 to 1 and not even know that you're going that fast. A lot of people will agree with me, a lot of people will not agree with me, but there's really not that many cons to this car. You really gotta force hating this car because there's not a lot of cons to it. I guess some cons that I could say about this car is just the traction. You gotta have good wheels, because if you don't have good wheels and if you don't know how to drive the car, then you might end up on the sidewalk, man. Yeah, there's a lot of people that just don't know how to drive the car right. You gotta make sure that you don't go fast on turns, right? Obviously, a lot of you guys know that watching this video, but man, there's too many videos that I see, like, there's too much Mustang hate. A lot of people hate Mustangs because of that reason, but like I said, it's not because of the car. It's mainly because of the driver. That's the only thing I guess I would say is, like, you gotta have good tires on the car. And I think the first ones I had were the Cup 2s. Those were amazing. These current ones right here are the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. Yeah, the Pilot Sport 4S. Yeah, these are not bad, but if I were to go back to some tires, I would go back to the Cup 2s because, like I said, those tires are super sticky. I just remember how much rocks I collected in this area right here, so that's why I had to get a rock blocker. You guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I kept the rocks. The first collected rocks on 5/3/25 from the Shelby GT500, man. So these were all the rocks that I caught on the side right here, like I said, of the car. And yeah, I just put it in this cup, and it's been one whole year since I did that. So now let's get into the reality of ownership. If you drive this car and if you own this car and if you have fun, we'll just use that word fun, okay? You are gonna have to make lots and lots of visits to the gas station. Let's say you have a 45-minute drive and you have fun on that drive. On the way back home, which is another 45-minute drive, you're probably gonna have to stop at the gas station. The premium gas is not super crazy. My dad and I love going to Costco. Shout out to Costco. I know a lot of people are gonna hate on that, but I don't care. You know what I mean? Costco has some great gas, cheap gas, and on average, it will cost you about $30 to $35 on average to fill up the car if you're halfway full. You know, it's not bad, but like they say, it's more fun to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. This is a car that I drive pretty frequently. I wouldn't say I drive it every day, you know, because I have 3 other vehicles, but this is a car that I like to use and take to car shows, as you guys know, with my dad. We just like to have fun in the car. So when we go to Gears and Grinds, when we go to Cars and Coffee, this is typically the car that we'll use 90% of the time. Like I said, if you drive the car how it's supposed to be driven, you're gonna take a lot of trips to the gas station. But like I said, the fill-ups are not that crazy. Especially if you own a car like this, that's probably gonna be the least of your worries. So now let's talk about oil change. Let's talk about the brakes. Let's talk about like just the whole maintenance of it. So the first thing I'll say is it's a Ford, right? So a lot of the parts, a lot of the stuff that you're looking for is pretty affordable, right? The oil change is on average $300 to $450, give or take. If you let Ford dealership handle it, you're probably gonna get charged a little bit more. You're probably gonna need to get your own oil and then just give it to them so that they can do it. Or you could just obviously just do it yourself and just learn how to do it yourself. For my own convenience and just for my own peace of mind, I'd rather just have someone else do it for me rather than, you know, having to mess something up down the line. And for stuff like the filters, the brakes, the tires, all that stuff, brakes was a little bit expensive. I think I paid a little under $3,000 for that. I don't know the exact number, so I may be way over, I may be way under, but I know it was around that. The tires were gifted to me. I think my dad paid about $2,000 for that. The air filters, that's simple stuff, you know, that's not really a huge cost. But other than that, I don't think there's anything else. I could say the splitter, I paid about $900 with the part and installation. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're waiting for the next oil change, which should be very soon, obviously, because it's been 1 year. And then registration and all that stuff was about $650 to $700. So, you know, we just got that done. We got the sticker for it. For all 4 of my vehicles, I pay about $450 a month. I don't know what you guys pay. I don't think that's super high. This car is over $100,000, at minimum $100,000. So I don't think that's terrible too. So you're just gonna have to understand the cost, but you're not gonna be paying what a supercar costs, right? You're not gonna be having those type of expenses. For me, as a businessman, as an investor, as someone that is also financially responsible, this car fits within my budget. Do I think I'm gonna add any more cars down the line? Maybe, maybe not. All right, that's in God's plan. But as of right now, as I'm looking at it, I'm very content with the vehicles that I have right now. Obviously, if I would want to get more vehicles, I would have to get a bigger property. Like I said, that's all in God's plan, because next year I'm going to be getting married, and you know, I got to make sure that my wife is within those plans as well, because her dream car is a Porsche 911. So I want to make sure she gets that as well. I want to make sure that she has her daily and her dream car, and then our family car whenever we have kids. So as of right now, it fits within the budget, it fits within the lifestyle. So yeah, guys, we'll just leave it at that. So the best part of owning a Shelby GT500 is not just owning the car itself. It's actually been the memories, okay? I have had so many amazing memories with this car that I've either captured on this YouTube channel or I've just been able to experience in real time, and you know, didn't have a camera on me at the time. But like I said, it's just really been the memories, man. One of my favorite memories that is also ongoing is being able to roll and drive around with my dad as the driver in his Shelby GT500, me being the driver in my Shelby GT500, having my fiance as a passenger, and then having my mom as his passenger. That has been something that has been amazing, and I don't think anything else will ever beat that. It's one thing to be a passenger in my dad's Shelby GT500. It's one thing to have him be my passenger, but it's a whole nother experience when you're rolling side by side together at almost every single car show, every single weekend. You're able to do that with your pops and your mom and your fiance, right? Like, I don't know how to explain it, guys, you know, but it is a surreal experience. And I'm literally getting goosebumps as I'm talking about it right now. You see my dad passing beside me and you see my mom smiling outside of the window, stuff like that. And you just have a little bit of fun while you drive next beside each other. I could speak on that experience here on camera, but it is something that you actually just really got to experience for you to understand what I'm talking about. I'm very fortunate to be able to have a dad that loves cars. And obviously with my dad loving cars, my mom also had to fall in love with cars, right? Same with me. It's like I fell in love with cars because of my dad. And now my fiance slash wife is gonna have to fall in love with cars because of my passion of cars. You know, it's just something that they're gonna have to live through, especially if we love doing this, you know? I'm very blessed to say that they have had a lot of fun with us, man. Just the smiles on their faces alone make me emotional, you know? Not just with my family, but with also every single person that we were so fortunate and blessed enough to speak with and have the opportunity to share stories with. Those people are what make this car so special behind me, man. Being able to meet with other car people and see their car and how they built it or why they bought it and their best memories with it. That is really what means a lot to us too, man. Like I said on the Shelby's on the Strip video, man, we have met so many amazing people after 1 year, guys. We've gotten so many amazing connections. I've gotten so many amazing opportunities with the content that I've been creating. The opportunities have been endless. So many amazing things have been going on with my business just because of the car. People hit me up because they see the poster on my windshield. And yeah, man, it's just been super great overall. I know for a lot of people, it's just a car. But for me, it became motivation. This car always reminds me that hard work pays off. I used to say that all the time when I was in middle school. And it's true, man. You're gonna have a lot of haters. You're gonna have a lot of supporters. You're gonna have a lot of people that don't care about what you're doing. But as long as you believe in yourself and you have God by your side at all times, anything is possible. Ever since I started my business at 17 years old, I knew that I would get to where I wanted to be. Like I said, if you work hard and you have God by your side at all times, every single thing that you pray to Him about, every single thing that you want, every single thing that you need, you'll have it, man. And at the end of the day, all I need is God. That's it. All this has been possible because of my faith in Him. Open your heart to God. And like I said, man, anything is possible. This car has pushed me to create more content, meet more people, think bigger, and of course, dream bigger as well. And even after 1 year of ownership, I still turn around and look at this car every single time I park it. And I hope the feelings that I have for this car after 1 year will never go away. But all I gotta say is this first year has been unforgettable and we're just getting started. So stay tuned for all the content. Make sure you guys go drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the Shelby GT500. And yeah, man, I wanna know your guys' dream car as well. If it's not the Shelby, what is it? I wanna know down below. But yeah, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you guys go like, comment, subscribe down below. And always remember, don't sleep. We got the heat. Love y'all, man. Peace. We